Also at this hour, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his UAE counterpart are expected to hold virtual talks in the coming week, where they will likely sign the Free Trade Pact. As of now, both countries are considering to hold the talks on Friday or Saturday. A formal confirmation is, however, still awaited. The negotiations for the FTA began in October last year, and the draft was finalized 2 months later in December. Last week, India's Minister of Trade and Commerce, Piyush Goyal, said that they are in an advanced stage of the discussions with the UAE and hope to make an announcement on the free trade agreement soon.
Well, we are having very good discussions with the UAE, which are at an advanced stage, and we hope to make some announcements very quickly on the UAE free trade agreement.
Talking about trade relations of the two countries, Abu Dhabi has been New Delhi's third largest trade partner for the last 8 years. In 1985, bilateral trade between the two countries, excluding oil, stood at $180 million, while in 2020-2021, the figure rose to over $43 billion. At present, the total value of foreign trade between India and the UAE stands at around $60 billion. UAE's envoy to India had earlier called the ties between the two nations dynamic and said that the FTA, also known as the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, would unleash a golden era in the bilateral partnership and increase trade, investment and technological partnership. Crown Prince of UAE, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and Prime Minister Modi have held a number of conversations in the past. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was supposed to visit the Gulf nation in nearly January, which could not get materialized given the COVID pandemic. India and the UAE have comprehensive strategic partnership, and high-level visits have been common in the last few years. The Indian Prime Minister visited UAE in 2015, 2018 and 2019. He also has been conferred UAE's highest civilian award, the Order of Zayed of the country. Our principal diplomatic correspondent, Sidhant Sibal, has sent us this report from New Delhi.
This FTA is essentially a stepping stone to increase trading ties. In fact, the UAE envoy earlier speaking at an event this month said that this FTA will unleash the golden chapter in the relationship, especially the trading relationship. And this is something that has been talked about publicly by both sides many times, because there is an increased intent by both sides of not only signing this trading pact, but also making sure that the trading relationship increases. And this is also part of India's policy of increasing and having more FTAs across the world. India is in talks with Australia. Interim FTA is expected in a month's time. With UK as well, talks are expected to happen in the month of March. Canada as well, the Canadian minister is expected to come to India in the month of March, the trading minister. And also when it comes to countries like Israel, blocs like EU, talks are on. So the focus is to make sure that India has an FTA, and an FTA which of course has a positive outcome for both countries, and of course it creates more employment in India.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.